Join me at work for a beautiful day. Gratitude is the greatest sacrifice known to man, and you will find out why in this video. Amen. Grand Rising family, join me for another beautiful day at work. The energy is up. The sun, which I am basking in and get the privilege to do so every day, is such a blessing. And that's what I want to touch on today. Privilege, blessing, the fact that you're not forced to bear this weight. The fact that you don't have to pick up all this responsibility that your soul so yearns to do within this lifetime. No. And even if you feel so obligated, let's look at it from a different lens. You get to. You have the grace of experiencing this current moment where the sun is shining, this current moment where it's raining, this current moment where the earth is being nourished by God's beautiful presence. And you have the gift of discernment to be able to see just how much of a beauty that is. You have the gift of discernment to see that these distractions that your family has soaked themselves in will not be your destiny. That these things which have kept your bloodline bound to these lower forces and energies are not going to be what your life amounts to. But the fact of the matter is, you need to start prioritizing and exerting your gratitude for these things. Be able to shift the perspective, not asking, why, God, is it me that has to go through all this? But thank God for the opportunity to bear the weight. No matter how many tribulations he's putting you through as of current, you will see past them. Ask yourself, will they be worth it in the end when you get to bask in the glory of God? When you get to make those authentic dreams that God gifted you a reality through the power and strength of the Most High, will it be worth it? Will all the shame have been worth it? Will all the lower vibrational and emotional experiences have been worth it? Will all the pain have been worth it in the end? That is the question. Put yourself in the quantum mind state that you have already achieved these things. Go ahead. Let it within. Let it soak in the feeling. And what's going to happen when you do that? Your flesh is going to probably feel turmoil. Your mind's probably going to try to convince you that that's not where you're at, that you can't be there, that it's going to take so much to get there. You're going to have cognitive dissonance in the fact, oh no, these things that I'm doing in life right now aren't what's going to get me there. Or certain things that I'm doing I know are holding me back, stopping me from fulfilling that full potential. But that doesn't stop you from using your damn imagination. And those imaginations directly are linked to your nervous system because it literally can't tell the difference. So once again, what does that mean? It's simple. Put yourself in the mind state that your desires are already attained and feel how that feels. And what will you understand? That all the tribulations and all of the pain would have been worth it to be at that very moment. You gotta understand, moments are fleeting with time. That means emotions are fleeting with time. That means experiences are always varying on the spectrum of vibration. And you have to be willing to accept and bear all of them within life, even being grateful for the lowest of the low. Even when you're within that lowest of the low, thanking God for putting you there just to show you how high the highs could really be. But when you begin to quantum shift and put yourself in that mind state with your desires attained, you will easily see how worth it the tribulations were, how worth it all the pain was. The reason why you incarnated into this current physical form, to help save your bloodline, to help look past these limitations that have been bounding your people since before you can remember. Clarity will be your reward. Confusion will not be your destiny. As long as you prioritize gratitude, thanks for the fact that these things are manifesting. Thanks for the shame. Thanks for the possible glory. Literal, you get to do this. I thank God for the girl that I'm speaking to at this moment because she really allowed me to see that this is a privilege. That bearing all this weight and responsibility is the most beautiful thing I could ever do with my life. So how could I sit here and be bitter about the experiences that I'm having to go through that come with it? It's inevitable, okay? The flesh is gonna yearn to be above the spirit, but the spirit knows these things are necessary in order for us to cultivate a better quality of life, help the people around us, helps ourselves actually get to experience instead of feeling numb to this existence like most of our family has and has not confronted these things which are manifesting in their mind, all the pain which you are willing to bear every day. So we've got a client that makes fudge, and this is about to be amazing.
Coffee tea.
If y'all keep up with the
Quick
channel, you
case
know that
study
I've
of the
wanted to do a
absolute
back
privilege
handspring,
exerted here.
but I haven't been able
He's
to do it
got two
yet.
legs,
Well,
2 arms, ability to move his body in ways that people couldn't even dream of doing. How could he take this shit for granted when he's able out here to exert his physical vessel in such a beautiful way, where he's able to cultivate a practice that literally makes him have a better quality of life? We need to cultivate being grateful. Look at that.
practice makes a better quality of life. It's like, seriously, at any moment you can shift your perspective. You can consciously decide to identify with being a victim to life's chaos or the person who gets to overcome it. Sincerely, what are you gonna do with these challenges thrown at you in life? They've been thrown at me since before I could remember. My family had just chaos and cycles and cycles. That is most of my childhood. Thank God I prioritize gratitude. I can see the times that my family was just unconscious and really, really wanted the best for me. As I mentioned in the last video, everybody is searching for a higher divinity. No matter how thwarted that becomes in the time that they exert themselves and attempt to get to that point, they want what's best for them and their people at a constant. No matter how short they fall of that glory, we all have these authentic desires to gain and seek a better quality of life. So prioritize that gratitude and the fact that people are trying, bro, to the best of their ability, no matter how thwarted that becomes, no matter how much of a victim mindset it places you in at this current moment. That is not your destiny. That is not your reward. And it only propels you to lower vibrations, allowing you to commit these actions that you don't even like about yourself through these places of self-hatred that were created not even by you. They're in your blood. These are things that you are bearing that have been dealt with since the dawn of time. There's nothing new under the sun. It just so happens that you chose this loadout right now. So what are we going to do with it? Are we going to allow ourselves to continue to sit within chaos without gaining the peace that we know we can through it? Because the chaos is comfortable. It's all we ever knew. Chaos is comfort to me. Heart sinking is comfort to me. Victimhood around chaos is comfort to me. And it's going to take a literal grieving process of flesh to be able to rise in the spirit over that. Killing your old self is not an easy process because it loves to cling on so hard to what it thinks it's familiar with. But familiarity is not clarity in a world full of chaos and confusion. So when we prioritize gratitude, we can shift an immediate perspective and immediately get our vibration raised first thing in the fucking morning. I know we might forget sometimes, but it's always there available for you to call upon at any moment of which you so please, because gratitude is a direct frequency to God. So what does a brother have to be grateful for when he's working consistently under the sun for what seems like no reward? For when vanity seems to be the only thing he can see, what gratitude can a brother cultivate when he's working for the rich and getting nearly nothing in return? The fact that he is merely alive here to experience this life is a blessing. And if he prioritized that gratitude, that day at work could be the best day of his life, but he wouldn't even be able to see it if he was stuck in his own quarrel and his victimhood, believing that he's at the bottom of society, because your nervous system tracks your social status and it directly negates your sensitivity to your emotions, but you're able to change your perspective and overcome that dominance hierarchy that the world has set in place in your nervous system, to where you are the one fulfilling your potential as much as you can every day. To where you're not distracting yourself. I don't have headphones. I listen to my own thoughts all day. I try to clear them up. I try to get silent. I try to be meditative in the state while I work, and it's perfect and it works. Sometimes I have terrible days. Sometimes I have great ones. But I also understand that prioritizing gratitude typically allows me to have a great day regardless. You can't go to sleep in fear. You can't go to sleep in these low vibrational mind states, because that's where you're going to project astrally. You're going to be dwelling in the lower astrals in your dreams. When in reality, if you went to sleep with trust, with peace, with patience, with hope, with clarity, with gratitude, your sleep will be peaceful. You wake up peaceful. You don't wake up panicking. You don't wake up in this state where you feel like you have to grab the next thing that makes you feel alive, alert, and okay, which is usually the phone or some shit. Some bullshit that isn't just naturally waking up feeling like you're living a good life.
because we have not prioritized gratitude. And it's hard to do that when we haven't forgiven ourselves for the bullshit that we've done, and we haven't forgiven the people around us for the bullshit that they've done to us, consciously or unconsciously. So at the end of the day, if you're still holding on to shit from the past, you're not even going to be able to prioritize that gratitude. Where is it when you can't see it? It's somewhere obviously that you can't see, so you have to be willing to search within for it. Just as within gives you the power to overcome these things, and external, because as within, so without. I never would have been able to get to this point where I know gratitude is saving me. I never would have got to the point where I would have prioritized gratitude if I didn't understand there was something above me to contribute to God. If I didn't understand that God was real, what would be the point in getting to his frequency? Even though I was trying before I had the confirmation that this shit existed, I knew I wanted a better quality of life, and I knew higher proponent things like religion were going to get me there. But I didn't know that it all lied within me, and all I had to do was shift the perspective. And I began to see greater heights than imaginable. Because opportunity in front of you will always be ceasing to exist if you aren't open enough to see it's happening, to see its constant arising. You aren't able to see its constant arising if you're not already grateful for what you have, because you're not looking for what could be. Because when you're grateful for what you have, you're an open flow for more positive energy to run through, for more positive energy to be around. You're at a higher vibration, which means you're attracting higher vibrations 24/7. Or rather, you can see higher vibrations clearly for what they are because you're at that point already, so you know what to go towards. But without it, when you're stuck in your own coral, in your own head, in your victimhood, you will never get to that point. So what do? I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do affirmations every morning. It works for some people, and for me it don't. I just prioritize my gratitude. I pray. I pray in the morning. I thank God for the fact that I'm alive. That's what should be the first thing that you say to yourself when you're awake. Thank you for my life. I am here to be able to live it again. And just because yesterday might not have been sufficient, today is a new day. We should be grateful for it because we fucking woke up. Hallelujah. Manifestation blockages come from the fact that we cannot accept our life circumstances. If you are emotionally attached to a circumstance, you have no room for any of the higher quality of what that circumstance could turn into to flow. There is no quantum leap without the ability to glory through tribulations, to see why you should have hope, to see past these things which make you feel so down. I swear to God, there's dirt all over my face. That's why my mustache seems the way it does. Because I just put my face in mulch on accident. But that's okay. The fact of the matter is, you will not be able to manifest shit into your life that'll make it have a better quality if you are still attached emotionally to the outcome of situations. If you are attached to the fruits of your actions and what they bear. Of course, we are trying to cultivate having the fruits of our actions be in a positive state, but yet your attachment to them is what is creating a lower quality of life, because attachment to result allows us to soak in lower vibrational emotions. Attachment to result allows us to feel like the moment and meaning is fleeting with time, and that once was will never be again because of how attached we are to it when we had it in one form. And that is once again a blockage of gratitude for manifestation to flow, because you're attached to what you thought your life was supposed to be instead of being grateful enough to see it for what it is or could be. Because with gratitude, you see opportunity and potential. Without it, you don't. And it's that fucking simple. Without gratitude, there is no rise in the spirit. Without gratitude, there is no ability to overcome these vices that have been weighing down on you for so long. Because that's the main reason that you ended up falling into them in the first place, because you gave yourself an excuse because you were attached to how you were feeling, and you knew that this external entity, so to speak, or this external medium was going to help satisfy that pain temporarily. But once again, temporarily. Through gratitude is glorying through tribulations. I don't care how shitty you feel. Prioritize the gratitude. If you can prioritize gratitude in your worst and lowest of moments, think about how much you can endure. You see, some of us are born with spiritual ability at a young age, but that doesn't mean we have the stress tolerance ready for our nervous system to be able to bear. So what do we need to do? We need to be able to breathe through these experiences, separate ourselves from them, and smile at the fact that we're crying and angry and don't know why. And be grateful for the fact that we even get to have the full spectrum of this human experience. Be grateful for the fact that we're not just numbing ourselves through the pain. Go through the pain with gratitude, because your joy and your pain are one. And because you're preferring one over the other is why you cannot see the glory in the pain. Because it's there, we glory through tribulations, because tribulations produce perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not disappoint, because hope is literally the idea that something out there exists greater than what you have now. And you'll never be able to have that hope if you don't prioritize the gratitude, which is glorying through your tribulation. I don't care how sad you are not depressed. You are just in that mind state. It is a shift. Your depression is self-aggression. It's self-hatred. If you keep peeling back the onion layers and identifying these things for what they are, you can separate yourself from the experience instead of being in such a chaotic mind state. Like, I don't know where my depression is rooted from. Like, I don't know where this anxiety is coming from. The answers are clear if you're able to be grateful and look into yourself. If you're not grateful for your life that's been given to you at this moment, you're not going to have the courage, you're not going to have the strength to be able to look within and see these things that are attempting to bound you and hold you down from becoming that person you're supposed to be, that are keeping you trying to frown. Sincerely, you are not depressed. You are just limited to the specter of depression. Your potential is being thwarted and locked away because of the energy which you're allowing to bear over you. And you are too blind to the fact that it is taking over your vessel and literally body snatching you because you are too afraid to be grateful for what you have. And why are you too afraid to be grateful for what you have? Because then you have to let go of everything that you thought you were and everything that you thought it was. You then have no ability to be the victim. You then have no reason or excuse to be sad, because you understand there's children all across the world in way worse positions than you. There's people across the world in 10 times worse positions than you. You lose the ability to be in the woe is me mind state. And the woe is me mind state, where we're dwelling in these lower vibrational emotions, is so familiar to us that it's hard to get out of this, that it's hard to want to get out of this. I notice myself, even in rising in the spirit, my flesh will have the thoughts of, but if I let go of this and I prioritize my gratitude, I'll have nothing to hold on to. And what do I have with nothing to hold on to? You're empty, correct, but empty in a positive way, because now that you are empty with no need to hold on to something, you have the room for everything to flow within you. You should have an empty vessel, because without it, you have no opportunity for the full range of the spectrum of experience of life, because there is no joy without pain. So you have to be willing to endure that, but clear your body enough, clear your nervous system enough, clear what you've been holding on to, clear what you think life was supposed to be enough, so God can show you what it was always supposed to. So God can show you what it could be, so you can see clearly that your destiny is greater than you could ever possibly imagine. I love you, Jehovah Elohim. We've had a great day at work. We're gonna just do a few more houses, end the day off with a nice little handstand. I'm telling y'all, I'm getting better at this shit. Hey, we tried. Matter of fact, we're gonna make sure we get that one before we go. One more. No, we deserve one more. Ooh. Well, I've been practicing more at home. I'm grateful for the fact that I even get to practice. Whew. Amen.